genuinely, from the treasurer's point of view, yeah, I can tell you that as of this morning, or as of 10 minutes ago, and I checked, I'm owed £292 worth of match fees across the entire club. You know, and that's almost a full season. I can tell you who hasn't paid, and that to a treasurer is absolute gold. You know, previously, as I said, I got wads of £10 notes and £5 notes from a captain. You assume that, yeah, they say, oh, it was we got 60 quid last week. Is that correct? I don't know. Did someone pay? People not pay? You've got absolutely zero. Zero, you know, it's all taken on trust. You know, not suggesting people are stealing money, but people don't pay match fees, and then do they get chased up? Don't know. It gets forgotten about. So that for me is, you know, that's awesome. The ability just to see who has and hasn't paid as well, and give people the option of multiple payment types rather than, you know, again with the old system, it was I'd get checks, I'd get cash, I'd get bank transfers. And we started doing stuff in PayPal. So I'd have 4 or 5 different ways of people paying, which required me a lot of the time to go in and manually move them and say, yeah, they've paid, okay, they owe this much. This one, they go, right, well, they do I want to pay in one lump or two? Okay, I'm going to pay in 2 installments, boom, tick, tick. I've got a junior, I've got 2 juniors, I've got an adult, boom, and it's done. And I don't have to think about any of it. It's done. You know what? Okay, there is an admin fee associated with that. We pay Teamo, we pay Stripe, but I'm 100% sure that besides putting a dollar figure on my time, the income that we've not lost, if that makes sense, you know, we've actually managed to, everybody's paid. I think I've got 5 people out of 518 people, 5 haven't paid, and that's only because they probably signed up last week for the last week of the term. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say we're almost 100% membership, and you know, certainly 98% match fees are collected. It's great. So from that perspective, it's excellent.
How has, and you might not even be able to give a proper answer for this, how has your revenue changed since pre-Teamo?
I could probably look up the numbers, but at the top of my head, match fees, you know, a couple of £1,000, I would suggest we're better off just because now we've actually got everybody paying. That's despite paying the small percentage to you guys and to Stripe. From a membership point of view, I mean, the club's growing, so it's hard to say. But you know, the fact that I've actually managed to get it off everybody, bar 5 people, it has to be a good thing. You know, the club certainly financially is a lot healthier than we were 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, as I say, the club is growing, so it's quite a hard answer to give, to be honest, in terms of, you know, what were we missing. The general feeling is we were missing, but it was really difficult to quantify, certainly on the match fee front. The membership was always a real pain because we used to offer, people could pay within the first 3 weeks of the season, and then they had to pay if they were doing 2 installments by the end of January. So that required me to, you know, who hasn't paid second installment, right, I've got to email, chase them up. This thing that, you know, they tick their, I'm paying in 2, and it doesn't matter if they pay the first one on the 1st of September, it's 3 months later. So it just gets done, and I don't have to think about it. So from a, you know, genuinely, if you put a figure to your time, we're massively better off.
Brilliant, I'm glad to hear. Are there any tools either in the app or on the desktop platform that would be particularly useful for you?
Again, on the payment side, sorry to go on about payments.
Yeah, I mean specific tools within the payment side of things.
Yeah. So being able to look at individual teams and see, okay, has that team, some teams forget to set their match fees up. So even just being able to, within the app, look at individual teams on a Saturday, going who has and hasn't. It's a really good view. This that you're showing at the moment, I go into the match fees tickets and choose my dates, and boom, it's good. I do like the way I can also just look on a page of, okay, who's joined in the last month. People might not have been allocated necessarily to a membership fee, so I can go through and add them to what they should be paying if they haven't chosen it themselves, and who has and hasn't paid. I spend a lot of time on this part of Teamo.